Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to the third of these live streams. How are you all doing? I've got the wee chat on my other screen. Hi, hello. Great. Yes, you're all online. Amazing. Okay, there's a lot of you. Oh, you're all really active. I guess this is a good time. I mean, it's weird because it's like mid-afternoon for me, but I know some of you have gotten out of bed exclusively for this, and that's really sweet, guys. Like, I would totally just be lying in bed, um, just listening to the live stream if I was watching. But yes, so the theme that we're going to go with for this live stream is kind of like I'm going to be partially answering your questions and going through some of the new features in Novelcrafter. But we're also going to work together to make a short story. We've kind of already concepted little bits in the Discord chat just to kind of get a rough idea, and Space has made an amazing cover, so that's exciting. Let me just load up on my phone. So yeah, so what I was thinking of doing was also talking a little bit about what the AI can and can't do, because there is the AI is great, but it picks up the worst of writing styles as well as the best of it. So it's kind of like you've got to put your own like spin on things, otherwise you end up with something that doesn't read that great. And depending on how much the models have been trained on, this can vary quite a bit. So yeah, with that we'll get started. So my plan is to start from like complete bare bones. So for any of you who have joined over the Thanksgiving weekend, you can see what happens and how to use the interface, or any of you that are waiting for the December opening. So yes. So this is the screen you get when you first sign up. Or when you first log in, it has your library in. So for those who have, when the plans come out, have the access to shared books. You can see here I've got a few shared with me. Everyone has access to this right now. But then also my different series. We've been working on the magical detectives in the last live stream. However, today we're going to work on something new. So create novel. I should have in advance downloaded the cover that was made for me, so one moment. Isn't it gorgeous? Also, I am so, like, I was fangirling a little over this, not gonna lie. So yeah. So if you had a series that you're working on, you're adding to the book, you could plop it in here, but I don't need to for now. So create novel, and then to add in the cover, so you go up here to this wee cog, and you can change your settings. So here I'm going to upload. I'm so happy with that. It looks so cool. Okay, so then next to the metadata, you also have your writing tab, labels and markers. So there are some presets, but you can also just plop in whatever you want for yourselves. And then the prose, so UK English. I'm going to select it as third person limited. I'm not sure yet how I'm going to work the characters and whose perspective it's in. I've got a few ideas, but we'll leave that blank for now. If you had a collaboration, you could enter their email, and also exporting based on summaries or just the prose. Okay, so I think what we'll do is we'll start off in Tinker. So what my idea for this story, this short story, and we're going to try and get through as much of it as possible in the 2 hours that we've got, is to do a bit of a twist on Red Riding Hood. So my idea is that she goes into the woods and is chased by said wolves. However, you know, little kids are not the most logical of beings. To be fair, adults aren't the most logical of beings either. But essentially, when the wolf pins her down, she bites back, and kind of through that becomes some kind of werewolf shiftery thing. We'll work that out more. And then kind of as the years go on, she becomes this kind of, I guess, like, spirit of the woods-esque figure, kind of protecting the forest, but also getting retribution against villagers that aren't the nicest of people. And we kind of put the horror vibe in through that. So that was kind of why I wasn't sure about what point of view to have it. Like, do we all have it in her point of view, or do we kind of keep things focused on the victims, or the people that Red gets? So yeah, so I think I'm going to start with having a little look in Tinker Chat, brainstorming some ideas. If any of you have any, I'm all ears. So what I'm going to do is take the general purpose. So what I did was I took the general purpose prompt and I cloned it, and I've kind of basically changed it to add in just my specific genre. Well, yeah, what if she is the wolf? She is certainly a wolf. What am I going to do? You are enthusiastic about horror and want to scare the reader, but also tell a compelling story. I don't know how it's going to work. We're just playing around with the prompts. Like, I think kind of at this stage, like, a lot of the stuff when it comes to prompts is just like with other chat interfaces like Claude, GPT, you know, all the open router ones. Just play about and like find out what works for you. Like, I personally really like GPT prose. I also edit it really heavily, but I find it kind of it follows the instructions to keep to my style the best. So yeah, to recap, so this is my general purpose codex, like general purpose Tinker / workshop chat modification. I have a few different models with it. Yeah, we'll just see how things go. So select AI, general purpose horror. I will start with Mistral. We'll see how the free models go. I'll do open Orca Mistral. I think that's, from what I remember, is like a little bit better. So so I'm writing a retelling of Little Red Riding Hood, where as a child she is bitten and in turn bites the wolf. She becomes a werewolf, guarding the woods and taking vengeance against evil and corrupt people living in the local villages. This will be told in a series of cautionary short stories with a focus on the horror vibe. Please give me 5 detailed So I know already that I'm going to have a prologue of the actual incident, which I guess could be expanded and stuff, but then I want to kind of then focus on, 10 years later or whatever. So we'll see what Open Orca does. Yeah. I mean, this is alright, but I mean, like, it's not. It kind of works, but not quite what I was going for. Oh, yes, also, new feature. You can now have your Tinker chats in pop art mode, which means that you don't need to be constantly switching tabs, which is pretty damn good. So I'm going to select AI general purpose. I really like GPT. I think it's kind of good for this kind of stuff. I'll go for the turbo. I'm going to just see what it does differently, It might decide that it doesn't want to write any horror. Who knows? Oh, those rich tapestries. Okay, so that's. Oh, I like how it's saying formatted these as like the full story. Okay. Okay, well, I'm going to wait for it all to. It's not letting me scroll back up, so I'll have a little wait. But yeah, if you see any ideas that get generated that kind of spark joy, let me know. I'm kind of thinking like, or what I was kind of veering towards for the first tale, although maybe it would work as a good like ending short story, was like the huntsman and taking like, she hunts the huntsman. Maybe we'll do something else to start with. Arrogant hunter seeks to make a name of himself by venturing to kill the legendary beast of the woods. Yeah, so that I guess kind of would be used later. The Poison Grove. A greedy herbalist from the village has been secretly harvesting plants from the grove for a forbidden potion, betraying an ancient pact made with forest spirits to harvest sustainably. Red discovers this, punishes him by entwining his fate with the groves. He will only survive as long as he tends to and heals the grove he poisoned. So that would kind of work if we were going for a like the magic-y vibe. So how much magic is in this world? Something to think about. Okay, I kind of like the Shadow of Vengeance can give some vibes of like her past and how it ties in. Not quite sure if we should use children though. Maybe people who were children when she was a child as well. No, not witches. Greed of men. Group of loggers. Okay. Okay, so I like the idea of the greed of men. So I'm saying, please give me some more ideas in that vein, possibly in a way that allows us to explore Red's past. I always do that because I'm used to the other chats having enter, but okay. The Dying Spring. So there was. I saw the minor thing. That could work. Okay, so seeing that about the hunter's child makes me now think, oh, Red, huntsman's daughter. Um, but no, horror. We're doing a horror, not a romance. Gotta keep that on track. I forget remember. Okay, well, let's go for something along the lines of the miner's misfortune. I'm not entirely sure if I will use it, but it's something there. Okay, then we go into plan mode. Add act. How are you all feeling about the idea of like miners and stuff? Yeah, I mean, like I definitely could be room for romance later, but I feel like first short story. Let's keep it simple. Something that can easily get done in the time. So we'll keep this as one chapter. Before we do this, I am gonna add. And she is the protagonist. You also have other categories here, so antagonist, love interest, primary character, secondary, yada yada. So I've been trying a few different models. So each time I use a different model, I'll let you know before I press enter. So you'll be able to see it if you replay the live session. Okay, so when I do codex entries, I tend to like keep it fairly simple because the AI does constantly bring things up from it. Like it's great, but when I was writing one of my other stories, it's like I had when a character was nervous, they would flick their hand like that, and it was happening, like every time. Like it was a little too much, so you have to like edit it out. So you want to keep things like making sense, but also concise. So for the prologue, because Red is going to be young, I'm only going to give the AI the information of her as a child. Does anyone have any idea for the name of the village? Just while I'm writing this down, that would be amazing if you could give me some ideas. So I put a young girl from the village of X. She's from a poor family, helps out the way she can. Her grandma's a head witch and refuses to live amongst civilization, and so little travels weekly to deliver goods in exchange for poultices. I'm kind of getting the vibe, like, or I kind of feel that I want Little Red to be not bratty, but I think she's kind of very like stubborn, and yeah, she is. Yeah, precocious. That's kind of the vibes. She enjoys being outside, hates the confines of civilization. Okay, oh, names. So, Brightwood, Hazenville, Ravensbrook, Eaststone? East Earstone? Now I'm thinking. I like Hazenville, I think. Or Ravens. Oh. No, Ravensbrook. Fangmore Heights. Just, you know. I feel like we'd need vampires to then be present. Manner of evil. Okay. Okay, so we've got a little red. Other. If any of you have like ideas for things to happen during this short story, like hit me up, because I'm literally going for this on the fly, and we have an hour and a half to try and get this done, which we're totally gonna do, aren't we, guys? Little Red stomps through the woods after an argument with other village children. It's getting late. She strays off of the path. Ooh, she's easily distracted as a child. Oh, no. She strays off the path after seeing some fireflies. Runs is caught, fight, bites. Scene end. Okay, that's my idea for and this is going to be from Red's point of view. Add subtitle. Okay, so should we go for this minor thing? So, okay, so 10 years later, we are then going to go... I need to remember to stop slouching, otherwise I'm just going to disappear off the bottom of your screens. Okay, 10 years later, Red and the wolves are prowling the outskirts of a new camp. The outskirts of a new camp. They overhear plans of making a new mine. Rumors of gold in the area. The men are poisoning the water by, I don't know, mining stuff, dumping waste. The wolves want to jump in, but they have weapons. Red stills them. Spotting a man. Spotting a man peeing in the river downstream. They go to capture him. Okay, so this man that they capture, the informant, that's going to then now be a character. Please give me some ideas about who he is and his personality, etc. He works for the newly founded Ravensbrook Mine Conglomeration. Conglomeration. He is young, naive, and just wants to help his family out. He is new to the town, so does not yet know the rumors of the spirit of the woods. I'll put some more in after. Okay, progression. So this, then the next scene will be from his point of view. I was kind of imagining him a wee bit weedier. But yeah. Okay, so then we have the guy waking up. He's terrified. He notices a pretty girl standing behind the wolves, but on closer inspection realizes that she's not normal. This is, like, you know, human. So this is what we get, like, the outside perspective on what's happened to Red in the intervening years. He is interrogated by her about the mines, begs for his freedom. She turns the wolves. So because this is a YouTube video, we're gonna try and keep things a bit, in the writing of the short story, we're gonna keep things a little bit more like fade to blacky, like fade to black, and like not overtly gruesome. However, like probably like post-production, I'll add some of that back in. But just because this is a kind of tutorial video, we want to keep it a little bit more PG, despite it being a horror. Okay, well, I think that's enough to start working on. If any of you have any ideas or thoughts that you want to pop in, just plop it in the comments below. Yeah. Can you give me tips on to handle when... so to handle what? Handle the writing, handle the AI. I mean, yeah, sure. Just let me know specifically what you're wanting tips for, and we can get going on that. So what I find with AI, I know Corey and a few other the people who've been testing it for longer have found that giving the AI, okay, not safe for work. Yeah, so with not safe for work, it's mainly like getting the prompting right, kind of like not like giving the AI a little bit of context, and yeah, just pick an unfiltered model. There are plenty out there that are getting really good. Like, and I think it all depends on how much like you want to edit. It's like when I write with AI, every sentence pretty much gets edited. But on the other hand, if I'm writing myself, every sentence will get edited at some point and completely changed. So even if the prose isn't great, if it's a starting point and you're happy to then put in the work to edit, then that definitely helps. But yeah, giving the AI context and like adding in, if you want to add in anything specifically, you know, do it yourself. But yeah, no, you can easily get the stuff to swear if it's thinking of the ideas. It's kind of like not tricking the AI, but like you can get, like, I've had Claude suggest some things that I'm like, whoa, okay, like, you know, that's a bit far. Can we tone this back? Like, I've clutched my pearls at some stuff that Claude suggested at times. It's just kind of in the priming and making sure your context is okay. But yeah, the open models on OpenRouter, some of them are great. Like others are like they're all great, but like some of them are really good for writing. Is probably what I should clarify there. What's the word? Not uneducated. Like misinformed. Um, okay, so I've just given it a couple of ignorant, yeah. I just wanted to give it a couple of sentences to kind of give it an idea. And also, yeah, I find that I like having having like an opening line that I've written, just because usually it can come up with better ones, which is very, as a writer, is very comforting to know that the AI is not going to suddenly come up with all these gems quite yet. Like it's, you know, it's getting there, and that's great. I'm loving it, but I also want to put my own spin on it because in the end of the day, it is my story. And I kind of, I've been brainstorming this all week since we started planning it. Like I had those lines in my head for like days. Okay, so / gets you your thing. You can have a horizontal rule, like for if you're like dividing information, continue writing, codex additions, like if you're wanting to like, say when we do the time jump, I'll then do a codex addition saying she is now this age, yada yada. So I'll show that. Scene beat is what we want. Little red bemoans the argument that she had with the other children that run off. She pulls her cloak tighter around her. She pulls her cloak tighter around her shoulders, and keeps going, following the path at first, but quickly getting distracted and wandering off. So normally I do my beats a lot more detailed than that, but I'm a planner, not a pantser, so I actually have no idea, or like not a big idea of what I want, so I'm going to see how it goes. So I'll just show you on the configure prompts. So like there's the system prompt. You can see the models that it has and the instructions. I've done a few edits, just kind of like to try and get it to replicate my style of writing. There are codex entries that you can use for similar things, so I might give that a go as well. So story genre, fantasy horror with a cautionary tale. A new entry, style guide. Sentences of varying length, simple language, simple and concise language that is easy to read. Dark vibes and mystery. I have no idea how this is going to work out. I've never done this, never done like this genre before, so we're gonna have a go. I'll start by showing you a few of the different. I'll like generate this first beat with a few different chats just to see what it comes up with. I'll start with Ereborus. That is one of our alpha testers, Hanabi's favorite. Sometimes it does just give you a block of text and you have to kind of like either format it yourself or just regenerate, which is fine. Yeah, so I feel like with style guides and story genres, it's so personal. Like a lot of this stuff, like if you just like look up writing tips that not even like AI writing, just writing in general, you can find some good like ideas for like story guides for your like or prose guides for yourself, and that then you can adapt and put into the AI. I think like it's you almost want to think of AI as someone who is just starting to write and hasn't done it before and is kind of like putting that information out, like is like Googling and trying to get ideas and tips and stuff, and then you take those bits and put them into the AI, into the style guide, and the like. Okay, Little Red kicked another stone, sending it skittering, bounced off, hitting. Okay, well, it's repeating words, but that's it's not bad. Oh my god, okay, they've killed off her mother straight away. Ouroboros. She's got a drunkard dad, a dead mum, someone called Big John. Okay, so Big John is her brother. Don't know why they've called him Big John. Like, is there does she have two brothers? Is there another one called Little John? I mean, to be fair, this isn't bad. I mean, I want to get rid of this last bit because I kind of want her to be a bit distracted. Yeah, John Jr. I do like the idea of him being a shorty. So what I use the also if you do 3 dashes, you then also get one of those lines. So I like doing that to separate the different poses. I'm also going to try and generate this exact same thing with GPT, generally because that's what I use. I'm just curious to see what different vibes it goes for, and then I can pick out the best of each. Like my preferred way to use AI is kit bashing, so I'll usually generate either with the same model, with different models, like 3 or 4 different versions of the same beats, and then I will take those and put them into like one cohesive scene. I topped up 15 quid last week, maybe the week before. I I think with AI as well, you do get what you pay for. And like I know there's like a lot of people looking for kind of the cheapest version, or like for free ways of like, I don't know, like making audio books or generating text and stuff. But yeah, it's not that expensive even to do the cheap stuff, and even to do the more expensive models. And it you're supporting people who are making them, and like it makes your life easier. Like I think it's kind of like that time versus energy versus money paradigm, where you choose where you spend it. Like, do you want to do lots of editing, or are you wanting better stuff coming out? So yeah, okay, Little Red clenched her fists. Okay, so this is a lot shorter than the Ouroboros. It's not gone into the backstory, or it's not invented a backstory, but what you should always do as well is press apply before doing anything else, like unless you're wanting to restart, because it just makes everything else easier. That's a bit overdramatic. Yeah, I usually find actually with doing this process over and over again, I usually delete the last couple of paragraphs, regardless of like what's going on. I find that I don't really like the last, like I just trim it off, no matter what model I use. So what I'm doing is I'm clipping that to the end. So you can also hide your beats if like you've finished generating, and you can move them up and down. I usually keep them there just in case I want to like see what I was intending, like during edits and the like. So I'm going to get rid of that now, because of it's feeling a bit too much Bell. Didn't they understand? Books didn't make them better if they chose to. I want another insult there. Yeah, no, Ouroboros is really good. Like when it does something well, it does it really well. You either get great selection or just like a giant like block slammed into your face. Okay, didn't they understand that yakking? Okay, yeah. If you have any questions that you want to ask, like while I'm doing these edits, like yeah, feel free. Because I'm just like suddenly like, wait, I'm not talking. Like you're just watching me watching a screen. So yeah, no, I'm happy to like point out things, show what I'm editing and why I'm editing it, and the like. This is just more converting it into my style because the AI, when you do your second beat, reads up to what the 3,000 tokens words that you've written before, and so by editing it now, it's basically meaning that anything I write later on is going to be it's gonna be more like your style, without even having to put your style down, which is pretty cool to be fair. Like it's learning. She continued marching on. There's also so I like to play. I don't know if any of you have done a lot of AI writing. I like to play bingo, like AI-isms. So like, there's a few things that the AI will always try to do, based on what it's been trained on. It wants to talk about the sun, to like say about like where the sun is in the sky or the weather, or like it's very keen on that. It loves people working together. You can't have an argument. You've got to get through this together. It likes concluding things. Like it's just very like circular, I guess. What are your favorite AI-isms? Oh, dappling, that's another one. Um, Also interesting that the AI chose to call them Ma and Pa. Had I mentioned that? I don't think I had, but that's what I would have used for them. So that's cool. Um, but you can see that we had like 700 words from just like this one beat. That wasn't like hugely specific. I think because it went into the backstory. Um, Yeah, well, you know, we all know about Mrs. O'Malley. He had tried to teach her how to shoot his bow, but yeah, I try and get rid of palpable. I just control F it. Although now when I read stuff that's like they're like really old, but like not really old, but you know, 10, 20 years ago, I'll read it and I'll see palpable and I'll be like, just because AI has spoilt the word for me. She belongs. Yeah, they're determined to get through their nodding and heart problems together. Okay, so now I've got. So I mean, that's 700 words almost from and most of that I guess like was I spent a lot of time like editing and writing the beat, but once you know, yes, it has said something about the sun already, but you know, like once you kind of get there, it does get easier. It's just a matter of like the amount of effort you put in gives kind of repays itself. But you also need to give the AI enough information to actually do stuff because it does need your help. Like, you know, if you just say, you know, she went on a walk, it could do that just as easily in one sentence as in 700 words. But if you give it guidance of what you actually want it to contain, it just helps give it a bit of prompting. So with that, I could go, if I really didn't know what I wanted, I could just go continue writing and it makes a beat that says just continue the story. That's great for pantsers. Like you can just keep going. Or if like you did like an RPG style, you could probably like make a prompt that limited the AI to like, I don't know, 1,000 tokens or something, and you could like, or you know, and then you could keep going. However, I'm just gonna do a normal beat, scene beat. Okay, so Red continues as it gets dark. She notices some fireflies and approaches, studying them. She tries to catch one in her hands, but it flies away and she chases after it. want to try Ouroboros again. I actually like that. So yeah, so you just go on generate prose, choose your prompt. So here, like, I've got a short prompt for if I just want like a paragraph to fill in between bits. You can do that. If you wanted to continue between scenes, you could always like start writing your next part on that scene and then just copy and paste it into the next one. Yes. Ouroboros, current prompt. Let's see the magic. While I sort out my lighting. The sun straight away, see? Okay, so you can see here, it's done this whole like one paragraph malarkey. So I'm just gonna try again. Sometimes like it just keeps doing it and you just have to keep going. Again, the quirks of AI. And this is just an issue with the LLMs rather than it being anything that you can fix. You could probably like try and tweak your prompts, but it's not guaranteed. Ouroboros. I know last time I did a live stream, I really hated just the fact that it had one and then it went. Okay, I'll give it another go. So I'm giving it a chance. I'm gonna keep kicking it. I mean, that kind of had some good stuff, but okay, I'm gonna try a different model. I'm Goliath. That sounds cool. Okay, so that paused partway through. That might be due to a context window. I'm not entirely sure. However, it's giving me something. I can work with that. So I'm just going to edit it and keep it. I often, like, if I want to write notes to myself, I usually put them in square brackets, and then it means I can just Control F a square bracket, and I know where edits that I want to make are. Okay, we've got an hour. I need to speed up. Okay, right. Well, that makes sense. It's doing all right then. Okay, well. And then I'm going to try, let's try Claude. I mean, 99% of me is like expecting to be like, I'm sorry, I can't write today. I've not yet had my tea. But I think this is the old version, so it's fine. Okay, a bit over dramatic, but you know. Ooh, okay, yes, right. Get rid of that. Pop in this. Flicker of light, all right. Okay, question energy, held a breath. Okay. Okay, so this is good. I'm enjoying this. Okay, so then scene beat, red, then sees two lights in the distance that don't move as much. They are a beautiful deep amber, and she wants to go and play with them. I think every model is different. I know that like there are defaults set in, and like you can play around with them. Like I find usually when I've got a model that I like, I'll play around. Like GPT, like with temperature. I think Corey was doing an experiment and it didn't seem to change anything too drastically. Like you could change the temperature, but like it stayed pretty consistent and the prose very decent regardless. So if you go on the Discord, I'm pretty sure that he was talking about it there and he's like posted his findings. Space, are you on like multiple computers at the moment? Because you've been commenting as yourself and also as Novelcrafter. Okay, so I'm gonna try a couple of different models. Again. Nope, that has not got the mystery that I was wanting. Okay, no, she wants. So sometimes I also find with like the AI, instead of writing your beats, it continues from the beats, which is fine. Like if you're, you can take it and use it still, but it's not exactly what you're asking for. And she is excited and wants to go and play with them. Again, it's like wrangling children or sheep or dogs that are really excited to do anything but don't quite know what you want. Yep, again, start from the end. Okay, let's clad it. No, let's regular life again. That was all right actually. I didn't mind that. Yeah, I think depending on which AI it is, some of them are like wrangling like cats, and then others are just like even crazier. Oh my god, heart pounding. Okay, I have no idea who's warning her. Claude? How are you going to do, Claude? Oh, wait. Okay, so you see this. Didn't care last time I generated with Claude. But now it doesn't want to play. That's a little rude, Claude. I mean, cool. Going for a bit more horror-y though. So, let's just get rid of anything that's an AIism. But yeah, I'm just kind of, again, editing anything that, I guess anything that I don't like. To be fair, heart hammering I think would happen in this scene, so I'm happy with that. So scene beat, the creature lunges, biting her. Red is annoyed, and so yeah, how are you all doing? Like, those of you who've like joined up on Novelcrafter over the last, over like the Thanksgiving weekend and stuff, when they've kind of had the fast pass, how have you all been finding it? Like, I think we all get so caught up in our bubbles, like, and there's so many people who are exploring this for the first time, and like it's kind of exciting. Like, I love playing around with new technology. Like, tinkering is like my favorite thing. So it's like my jam. So yeah, it'd be cool to hear your experiences, what you're really enjoying, and like, yeah, actually, yeah, let me know what your favorite bit of playing around is in this software. Um, no, I feel like Erebores has gone to sleep now. Although some of this is all right, I would, yeah, I'd keep that. I'm assuming Claude is going to go on strike and not do anything. Ye, then with the suddenness, the center. And there were some really nice things I liked in this. Um, okay, let's have a look at the comments. Okay, that's fine. Oh my god, some of it is like so overdramatic. But it says it doesn't. Oh, thrummed. Thrummed is another AIism. I mean, releasing her from its grip. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, first scene of our short story is done. I'm happy enough with that for now. Like, I'll probably edit it, maybe make the biting a little bit more gruesome. Who knows? But that's fine for now. Okay, 10 years later. So I believe that. Okay, space. You did mention that you could refer to the scene before. I think earlier in the chat. Could you send me the little codey bit that you have to use so I can give it a go? While I'm waiting to see if you have that, I will. I feel like maybe the wolves need personalities. Like she's named the wolves. Like humans name pets, like and friends, and you know she's gonna name the wolves. Um, no idea how this is gonna work. I've never used AI to write animals. I bet you they'll end up talking. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Ah, thank you. Copy. Okay, AI. Current prose beat generation, and then if you go to the little kebab menu, you can clone the prompt. Um, I'm guessing you just plop it in here. Let me know if I'm going wrong because I'm just guessing here. But yeah, I mean, like it's whatever works for you. Like it's you know, if you find GPTs work for you, then use GPTs. Like everyone functions differently, and like Novelcrafter is a great interface, and I personally really enjoy using it. But if you've found something that is working for you, then stick to that. Like I think we all kind of have different ways of writing and creating, and you know, no two people use the exact same planning method. Like you might take your React structure or whatever and then edit it and modify it and kind of make it fit for what you're wanting to tell. With previous scene context. Okay, let's see how this works. Move the previous scene message as the first message below the system, otherwise it won't work. Yeah, sure. With prompts, instructions. Yep, no, I've noticed that now. Yeah, I like using GPTs as like a story Bible. So if I'm wanting to quick reference something or like ask it about something that I've forgotten and I can't be bothered reading the novel, and then it has the context. So it's good for that. I enjoy it for making covers as well. But it all kind of depends on what your vibes are. Okay. 10. So there is going to be a place to share the custom prompts. I believe that there's a channel on the Discord, and Space is working on like an inbuilt prompt sharer where you can like upvote and all the likes. That the men are. Okay, so this is the first time I've tried this with the it using stuff before. So we'll see how things go. So yeah, so what I was kind of aiming originally was for like a 4,000 short story, word short story. Not entirely sure if that is going to work, or if I'm gonna have enough time. But if not, I can always like kind of tidy it up and stuff. And I was just wondering if like I can like pop it on the Discord. You can see what it's done and then follow the tutorial, like the live stream, if you want to do that. Oh, Ouroboros is given. Maybe it's just like, maybe it's like when it's the first part of a chapter, Ouroboros is like, yeah, I'll play ball, and then after that, it's like, yeah, formatting. What's formatting? Grammar? I don't remember what grammar is. Um. Sun dipping beneath the trees. So this is the point actually, where I probably should Do a codex edition. So living as a wolf for much of the year makes her more savage and willing to embrace her animal side. What's the village called? Ravenbrook. Okay, so this is the point where I'm like, okay, I've got a few bits that I need to add in. Okay, so locations. So we're going to do Miners Camp, Ravenbrook. Hazenville, yeah. Yeah, maybe peeing man. Okay. See, I love that, but it's not third person limited. So I would probably, like, I don't know, insert some kind of detail about her life. It is your village. You say programming crew. It's like programming single officer. And Space is amazing. Like, she does all of this, like dudes, she does all of this on top of her full-time job and, like, life. Like, the amount of updates that we get considering this is a one-woman part-time team, like, it's phenomenal. Like, all of us that, like, are on the Discord are just, like, in awe of what she does. And we cannot wait until the time comes when it goes out of beta and we can throw money at her. Maybe not literally, because she's in Germany, it'd be quite hard to throw, but is it Germany? I don't know, somewhere in Europe. But, can't throw money that far, but, give it a go. Okay. Like, I was calling him Alpha, like, because it's just, like, recognize that. Okay. Can some of you give me some ideas for other wolves in this pack, just so I can kind of bring in some more details? That would be amazing while I'm writing these beats. Red and the wolves watch the miners set up their camp. They quickly realize it's not going to be good. Okay, I was thinking more like descriptions that are like based on their like physical appearance, because I feel like that would be more how animals would identify. Or, like, it feels a bit more like how people like how they'd identify themselves. Maybe scents. Um, Okay, so we're building up just a couple of wolves, just to kind of like, which making it sharp tooth, sharp nose, yellow eyes, grey pelt. Just go with adjective noun pairs. Yeah, that's pretty much what I was thinking. Um, I like let's go sharp fang, sharp tooth. This wolf in the pack. Sharp is the mother of brown snout. Okay, well, we've got a few. Oh my god, Lazy Hunter, that would be... Okay, yeah, no, Lazy Hunter is... Okay. Is my theory going to be correct and Erebores start mucking up is my question. Oh, the sun again. Dudes. Let's try once more. Oh no, let's try a different model. Mistral? So all the prompts in Novelcrafter, as far as I know, is kind of like isn't doing anything behind the scenes because you can use it as much, like you can use it without AI, but recognizing the after. She knew the presence was not good for the forest. How would a wolf react? To select his lower jaw. Oh, I didn't. Oh, I deleted it. That's annoying. Don't want any of that. I don't know who Scruffy is, but they've made a new wolf. Maybe following the. So I'm going to show you. So if you double click, I've highlighted Scruffy. Codex entry. I can add him to the wolf pack. So if you go on OpenRouter, you can find the prices of any of the models that they have. It's hard to say if something is going to write as well as GPT-4 because they've not got as big a context window, and also you're very unlikely to get something that's free that does exactly the same as something that has had millions invested in it. So it depends if you're wanting GPT's writing style or if you just want something to get some prose down. I think it's that, again, it's that thing of you get what you pay for in some ways. And like it isn't that expensive. Like I know Corey was saying that he uses GPT and it was like to write a short story, it was like a few pounds or dollars. Was that what you were saying? Um, I'm gonna have this as burnt leaf. A flick of her head. Check the chat. Yeah, so they halved with GPT. I think they halved the output price and lowered by 2/3 the input price, which does make a difference. And like Claude was, or like Claude 2.0, like the good Claude for writing, was also lowered by 28% recently. And I think kind of as more free or cheap models come out, like and companies realize they can use them reliably enough, I think more prices will come down. But yeah, it all depends on what your input and output is. So like if your codex entries are all hundreds or thousands of words, then your input amount is going to be huge. So you're going to get more of a cost inference, I guess. Oh, see, that's annoying because actually, I might like. Perhaps she'll go back to. Perhaps she'll hunt tonight. Yeah, why not? We'll have it. We'll have a scene next where that happens. Okay, so gonna do a wee bit of summarizing. So what I've got. Go to plan. So I've got 3,000 words there, actually, which isn't bad. Like, I'm guessing that this short story will end up being probably more like in the 6 to 10,000 words, which is a bit longer than I thought, but because the prologue went so long. So So I think rather than, because I'm not sure if I'll finish it in this time, if you've got any questions or things you want to see me go through in the interface, perhaps like now's a good time. We've got 15 minutes left of the live stream, and then I'm going to go for a cup of tea, and to finish doing some work. So yeah, let me know what you want to know, and stuff. Yeah. So I'm not entirely sure. However, I'm happy to share with you some of my, like, let me go on one of my other stories. So this is one of the stories I've been working on. And I've kind of like, what I've done is kind of like split things into categories. So it's, what, how many words is it? Okay, so this is just under 300 words, but it's for one of my main characters. And so in it, I've kind of got how she reacts to certain things, her age, her social dynamics, kind of rather than you'll notice that there isn't really much on her appearance, other than like there's the little bit, but it's not the main, it's not at the top or the bottom, it's kind of in there. So the AI hopefully will draw from it, but it's not like constantly following that. However, the fact that she's a mind reader is key to the story. And like always for like less prominent characters, I've got a little bit about them, again following mannerisms, speech, like kind of how I want the AI to portray them, but not as much on the description. So like let's take that. Let's take chapter 4. So if we take like Bartholomew and Helena Jimmer, so like Bart is he's a carpenter who's got a warm, booming laugh and is optimistic. The AI named him Hector. That's why I've obviously not changed these things. Helena, on the other hand, is kind of more pragmatic and has a sharp wit. So let's have a look for... So yeah, you can see that Helena kind of like speaks more about kind of a bit more factual, whereas Bartholomew is kind of more like, I guess a bit more emotive and like kind of like that overprotective kind of figure. That's how the codex kind of like you infer things from the codex. Okay, custom prompts. Yes. So you go to AI. So you have your general prompts. You can see their system. You can't edit those at all. Like they are stuck there, and that's good because it means you've got a default that you know is always going to work. You can, however, copy them. So if you go on, if you just go on clone, you can clone them. So there's the scene beat completion, which is what we've been doing at the moment. And then there's text replacement, which I can show you in a moment if you want. So there's expand, rephrase, and shorten. However, you can also play about with those. Hanabi on the Discord is like the king of these. Like he experiments a lot with them. So you can kind of like make prompts that kind of play around with that. And then you've got your workshop chat. So there's also these codex ones, for example, that I made that I've kind of picked the traits that I want it to follow in order to make what these places are. And so you can kind of so it's but you could put anything you wanted in there. And what I kind of do is I give a info dump to the AI, and it kind of puts it and kind of makes sense of it. And you can like put whatever you want into there. And then with the models, you can pick what models you have. So if you don't like certain models, you can just get rid of them and just have the ones that you use. Custom prompts. Thanks, that helps some tweaks after. Where did you add subplot tags? Okay, so so these orange pink subplot tags, you go to the cog icon at the top left, writing, and then you have labels and markers. So I've kind of added them as that, but you can also do, in one of my other books, I have, I think, in courting, you can see that it's status, and so you can have that as your status, like it's edited in drafting, yada yada. But yeah, from the cog menu. Could you go over the previous scene custom prompt that was mentioned during the setting? Yeah, so this is a new thing that Space has kind of added. It's not in one of the general prompts just because I think it's just it's easier, or like it uses up less words and stuff. But if you go into your AI, you can add in the instructions different like user inputs. So by default, there's the context, the 300 words before, so like reading up your chapter, your scene. And then also there's the context of the scene beat that you've done. And however, if you want it to also read above, it's I'll put it in the chat. But you need to have that at the top of your interface of these three. Okay, keep going down. So yeah, for publishing, I've not actually published yet. I've got a few books that are now finished, but I'm kind of like tweaking. Not just with AI, like I'd been working on them before I started writing with AI. So one's kind of mostly without and one's mostly with. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to do. I mean, it won't be Vellum because I don't have a Mac. I mean, one day I'm hoping that Space will, put a feature in here. Until then, I'm not sure. I'll have to see what other people do. Yeah, so was it Velomatica? I guess I probably, I don't know. I'm not sure. I would have to research what I would do for formatting. I guess Atticus would probably be what I use, but ideally I'd find some way of doing it myself. Yeah. Are there any more questions? I'm happy to show anything if there's something you've seen earlier on that you want me to go over again, or you want to see something more detailed. Like I've got a couple of stories that are finished, so you can kind of see how I've put things together and like backworked stuff if you want. Like I'm pretty open with sharing what I've got. And like the different genres and the like. Okay, I will have a look into Reedsy. Not now, but I'm just popping it there as a mental note. Yeah, are there any other features that you've wanted to look into but don't know? If not, I could. What is the not? So the not safe for work checkbox is basically if you select it, it won't allow you to add any AIs that don't that are moderated. So for example, you wouldn't be able to add Claude or GPT. And so it basically is kind of like a fail-safe to stop you from putting in a safe for work model for not safe for work. Something that is a new feature that I've just realised I've not looked at is chat with scene. So if you click on that, it gives your context or your model, whatever AI is, like the context of your scene, rather than just the summary. So if I'm going to try general purpose. Give. I've never done this before. Based on the prose, tell me how bread would I'm not entirely sure how this is going to work, so we're going to give it a go. Also, I love that it's just a pop out. That makes life so much easier now. Well, that is just hallucinating. It's like, I think Ouroboros is writing lines. Oh, you're very welcome, John. Like, I love doing these. Like, it gets me writing, and also, like, you know, I'm happy to explain things and help out, and yeah, um, like, I've until these live streams and everything, I've never done any like video shit, but stuff, but it's fun. So I'm glad that you're all enjoying these too, and that you've stayed for 2 hours like dudes. That's impressive. Okay, I'm gonna try a different AI. Let's try, I don't know, GPT-3. Yeah, no, I'm thinking that. Well, I'm trying GPT 3.5 just to save money because it's not actually a question I want to know the answer to. It's more a demonstration. But you know, you can see that it's thinking. It's definitely considering what it's doing. I mean, there shouldn't be anything in it that gets flagged. I mean, unless like, you know, harassment for being annoyed at people doing annoying things. And we keep going and going and going, and I'm gonna stop and try it as a new thread. Yeah, let's try. Yeah, select AI. Okay, now it's working. That's fine. Yeah, I see what you. Honeybee's message is just showing up for me. Little Red would react to being chased as far as mixed fear, determination, and resourcefulness. Okay, so it's pulled from a personality. Yeah, I mean, I see how can I increase the tension in this scene? Oh, that would make sense. Let's chat with the scene again. Oh wait, no. Did we scene one? Lol. Oh, okay, well you can see here, my issue is that I selected the wrong prompt. Eventually I'm going to do this right. General purpose. No one ever makes, yeah. So to increase the see, okay, so yeah, so it gave some feedback. I mean, I'm guessing the GPT-4 would give, you know, give better, but I was like, yeah, this is just a thing. So you can use the chat with scene to like get it to like look at the nitty gritties, and like it's not quite like a line edit or anything like that. But yeah. But yeah, no. Okay, it's like 5 on the dot. So I'll head off now, but I will put I'll find some way of sharing what I've written if anyone wants to read it. If you go on to like share your work, there's also the chapter that I wrote in the previous live sessions if you want to read that and see how it changed from the live sessions. And yeah, I guess once we've got some more features, like maybe in a couple of weeks or something, like I'll do another live stream. Especially now I've got these like my new mic set up and stuff. So yeah. Oh, you're very welcome, everyone. Oh, I would love a chat about warm milk. I think I'm going to have some warm milk now and mix it with some hot chocolate. Yes. Bye, everyone.